Hello, family whom I love so much. Welcome to another character trait posting. We've been talking about self-control, and our last post we talked about moderation, how we need to be careful not to do too much of anything. Today we're going to talk about discipline. And that is when we control ourselves, when we discipline ourselves to do what we need to do. That is a good character trait, and it is a mature character trait. Let's say, for instance, anger. When you control yourself, you're just so angry, but you control yourself. Good character trait. Controlling yourself from not cheating or stealing back when we had our honesty lessons. That is a good thing. Controlling ourselves from using harsh words, angry words, mean words. That is a good thing. And another part of this discipline is disciplining ourselves to do good things that bless our lives. For example, exercising. So hard to exercise. We just want to be lazy and not do it, but to discipline ourselves to get up and do what we need to do to exercise is a good thing. Practicing a musical instrument. I watched Rachel with her musical instrument for band. She'll practice and practice, which is a good thing because now she is able to play proficiently with the band. Or sports. I've watched Jason go out and practice his basketball. That is a good thing. The other day, this last weekend, Abby was able to play a game in the Lincoln County basketball team with the young women. And this is the first game she's had all year. She'll be mad when I tell this story, but as I watched her in this game, she would stand back and shoot 3 points and make them. She would stand at the foul line and shoot the foul balls, and she would make them. She only missed one in all of the game that she played. And she was able to run back and forth on the floor the whole game. The coach didn't take her out one time. And as I watched her and thought about it, I remembered what happened with her. Last year, the basketball was just beginning, and then pandemic hit, and it was canceled, completely canceled. And Abby was devastated because this is her life, this is her love. She loves basketball. So instead of sitting home and watching television all day, she would get up early in the morning and she would go down to where her basketball hoop is by her house, and she would practice for a whole hour, shooting at different angles and practicing foul shots. And then she would run for an hour every single day. Every day, all summer long and into the fall, she would do this. Now, when it was time for her to do this game, because of her self-discipline, she just disciplined herself doing what was hard, she was able to succeed and exceed in this basketball game. And actually, she made 2/3 of the points and assists and steals. She did a really good job because she was able to discipline herself. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this in our next lesson. Let me just give you a hint. Abby wanted to be a really good basketball player, so she paid the price and worked really, really hard. And that principle is called the law of the harvest. We reap what we sow. And we'll talk some more about that in our next post. Let's see. Whenever we work really hard and accomplish something good, we work hard and earn that bike by saving our money, or we get up in the morning and go practice our piano or practice our basketball. It gives us joy. It gives us a peace. It gives us a self-esteem and a dignity that we have done all we possibly can do with the gifts and the talents that we have been given. And we have to have that discipline to be able to do that. Nobody else can do that for us. Not our parents, not our teachers, not our coaches, not our friends. We have to discipline ourselves to be able to do those kind of things. We're going to play a little game now that we've talked about moderation and we've talked about discipline. Pause this video a minute and go make 3 little signs. Make an A, an N, L, and an M, and then come back. Okay, your M represents moderation. Your NL means no limit. It doesn't matter how much you do. And your A means avoid, completely avoid. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you a few little things, and then I want you to hold up your sign whether you should be using moderation, we should avoid it, or it doesn't matter. There's no limit how much we do. All right? How about eating? Moderation, avoiding eating, or there's no limit. What did you put up? Moderation. What happens if we eat too much food? Okay, how about taking illegal drugs? Self-control. Avoid it, no matter what. At all costs, avoid putting drugs into your body. Reading. That could be no limits, but sometimes it becomes such a habit and such an obsession to read that we avoid life. We avoid social situations, and we avoid our responsibilities if it becomes too much. So it needs to be moderate. Reading is a good thing, but in a limit. How about caring about others, caring for others, helping others? No limit. Watching television. Name calling. I bet that's an easy one. You know that's never a good thing. Avoid name calling, bullying, anything like that. Drinking alcohol. Never, never. Smiling. No limit. Electronics. Phones, games. Moderation. It's okay. It's a good thing. You need relaxation, but it has to be moderate because other things aren't learned, and responsibilities are avoided if we are use unlimited amount of electronics. How about playing at a friend's house? That's a good thing, isn't it? But again, we have to use moderation. How about being kind? No limit, none. Being kind is always free for all. You can be kind no matter what. So, what are some helps? What are some ways that we can have discipline in ourselves? Well, first of all, think before you act. Think about what the consequence would be Think about what the consequence will be if you stay in bed instead of getting up and practicing your piano. Thinking what the consequence would be before you, when you lose your temper, when you say bad words, harsh words, mean words. What's the consequence going to be? What is the consequence going to be if you get up and exercise in the morning? Think about the consequence and then act. Another help to be able to have discipline is count to 10, especially when anger is involved. Count to 10 and before, when anger is involved, before you say harsh words, before you say something you shouldn't say, count. And I think that's good. But your assignment for today is to choose something. Choose something in your life. Maybe it's to be a better brother or sister, or to get up and exercise, or to learn a skill, something that you really have wanted to do. Think about that and then write in your journal what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Be really specific about these things. And then also write on your house about self-control. And always remember how much I love you, and always remember how wonderful you are.